Alright, since you guys enjoyed the awkward band promo photos reaction so much, we're going to be reacting to some more photos today, but these are of awkward family photos. They can range from Christmas photos to birthday photos to all sorts of kind of photos, but you'll see. But without further ado, let's check out the first one. Now, full disclosure, I have seen these, and that's why I selected them, but we're going to be talking about them. Look at this one. Like, there was a reason I chose this one, because as a photographer, you don't do this. Like, I mean, this guy looks like he's high, and this guy, he looks like he's not even looking at the camera. Like, and then they have this, they have the family dog that just doesn't look happy at all. Don't do this. Like, I would be so embarrassed if this was me sending out this Christmas card. Don't do that. Don't. Just don't. Don't. Alright, next one. Okay, so I've seen these. I have seen these, but the story behind this guy, this is him and his son right here. And they have a goal every year to make the most awkward Christmas card photos that they can. Now, obviously, it looks pretty awkward. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, you got the awkward dog in the back with the Santa Claus hat that's covering his eyes, and the way that they're holding each other's arms, like, it's just awkward. Like, I mean, I know they did this on purpose, but still, like, I'd be embarrassed to send this out to someone. Like, oh my goodness. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, and now this one, this is wedding photography. Now, don't get me wrong, this is probably, they probably liked this. They probably thought this was a great setup for their wedding photography. You notice that the bride and her bridesmaids, they all are dressed formally. They're dressed nice, you know. But then you look at the groom and his groomsmen. They're all just wearing Fox t-shirts. Now, look, I get it. Dirt biking is fun. You know, these guys they seem like the dirt biking type. But I wouldn't have done this for a photo. You know, as I said in that bad band promos reaction, you gotta coordinate. And like, I mean, I guess she was happy. I would hope so, and I hope that they're still together. But that's just awkward. Like, they're all wearing baseball caps too. Like, oh man, this is weird. Don't do that. Don't do that. Always coordinate with your soon-to-be wife or your family members. All right, next one. I remember this one. Okay. So first off, what do you guys notice about this? First thing I noticed is that the mom, daughter, and son are all black and white, and then they're next to a colored brick building. Now you can obviously tell that this is photoshopped. Whoever took these photos for them, they photoshopped a brick wall in the back because it's just... And maybe it was that, like, maybe one of the kids or both kids were being uncooperative, and maybe the mom was like, well, I really want to get some photos taken with my kids. And then they had to add the word life in there. Like, I mean, I guess this could pass off as like a good family picture or Christmas card or something like that. But I would be embarrassed. My mom would have killed me growing up if I had done something like this. All right, next one. Oh my gosh. I don't know what... Like, why? You know, the mere fact that, like, it looks like such a great, wholesome picture of the family, and then you have the giant cat behind them. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's good to include your pets. Like, you know, you guys know I'm a big pet person. I love dogs, I love cats, I love them all. But whoever did this, I don't know if they're doing this to piss these people off, or maybe these people were being really pushy, and so they did this to get back at them. But whatever the case, that's just awkward. Like, oh my goodness, like, my eyes are immediately drawn to the giant cat with the Santa Claus hat behind him. Like, I'd be so embarrassed. Don't do this as a photographer. Like, if someone asks you to do this, just tell them no. Just tell them no. Be polite about it, but tell them no. All right, next one. Okay, so when I saw this one, I wanted to show this one because there's a few things about this that I don't like, and that there's some things I just was thinking in my mind, like, what were they thinking? If you can't tell, that sign says peace on earth. So you notice that all the women in the family, like the wife, the two girls, all have duct tape on their mouth, and then there's just the dad and his son that don't have duct tape on their mouths. Now, from my first initial instinct, it looks like this is something that you'd see like in a kidnapping. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it literally looks like, you know, the women are being kidnapped by the dad and son. Now, I mean, I understand that like there's probably some humor behind this, and they probably thought, oh, this is such a great idea, but no, don't do this. Like, I'm sure they got a lot of smack talk on this. Like, I'm sure that if you go onto Reddit where I found these, there's a lot of comments about this specific photo, because yeah, you're having peace, but it also looks like you're about to kidnap them. So keep that in mind when you are getting your family photos organized and ready. Next one. That basically sums up 2020. You know, everybody knows 2020 was supposed to be everyone's year. All right, 2020, my year, this is going to be awesome. And then the pandemic hit. And we lost thousands of lives. And I grieve for those who lost family members. But this basically sums up what 2020 was in a nutshell. Well, I guess you could say in a dumpster fire. Sorry, I had to say it. But like, it really just sums it up, because she looks like she's like, it's a forced smile. The dog doesn't look happy. And then they have a little tree, and they have the wreath. It really, this sums up 2020 to a T. Man, that's just, I mean, if I was to give this one a grade, I'd give that an A+, plus extra credit, because that really sums up what this photo really sums up what 2020 was. All right, going on. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I saw a lot of these photos online. Now, I chose this one. Let me minimize it just a little, because like, it's just awkward. You know, you have the dad, and then you have the family, like right here. Like this must have been a trend like back in the 70s and 80s, because that's really where a lot of these kind of photos were taken. I mean, the creativity is there, but it just looks weird. Like, I would be embarrassed to do this and to have this hanging up in my house, and like, oh yeah, this is my family's new photo. Like, check it out. It's like right here. I'm so glad that photography's has basically come a long way since this, but that's just awkward. Ugh, so glad that trend died. All right, and this one, I brought this up for a reason, because yeah, it's a holiday Christmas card photo, but it's awkward. I was trying to change it, but anyway. I mean, if you can't tell, the dad is right there, and it says "chilling with my hoes," and these are his hoes. You know, it's his family, his daughters and his wife. I mean, why? I cannot emphasize enough how bad of creativity this is. Like, I mean, I know you're trying this, and that's probably an inside joke in their family. Like, yeah, this is me and my hoes, but don't do this. Especially like if you're gonna hang this up in your house, you don't want someone to see this, or if you're gonna be sending this to, maybe you have relatives that are easily offended. They would be definitely offended by this, by you calling your daughters and your wife, or it could just even be him and his daughters. Honestly, the mere fact that he's calling them his hoes, I don't think that would go over too well with the family. All right, going on. This is another one of those photos that it reminds me of something out of either the 70s, 80s, or early 90s. You know, so this girl, she just looks traumatized. Like, I feel so bad for this girl. And then the girl, like right next to her, like has this evil, sinister look, like, and like she's like proud that she's making this little girl cry. Like, who thought this was a good idea? Who in their right mind was like, yeah, we're just gonna, like, you know, make your daughter cry, and then we're gonna put this other girl right next to her and make it look like she's the reason she's crying. And then they probably sent these out as Christmas cards, or just they send them out just to family in general. Like, What were you thinking? Like, you don't do this. Poor kid. All right, next one. Okay, so this one I know is from the 90s. This is from the early 90s, and if you can't tell, the groomsmen, they're all wearing tuxedo shirts. Those aren't actual tuxedos. They are wearing jeans, and I mean, this guy, he's wearing sandals, and those are tuxedo shirts. Like, you can definitely tell, like, this is from the early 90s, and the mere fact that the bride was okay with this just blows my mind. Like, how would that be? You know, you're like showing your kids, like, yeah, these are our wedding photos. Like, these are our wedding photos, like, right here. And then there's like, were you wearing a tuxedo? They're like, no, it's the shirt. I still have the shirt in my closet if you want to see it. It looks a little nasty now, but I still have it. Oh my gosh, this is so awkward. Like, and the mere fact that the parents on both sides were okay with this, like the family members on both sides are like, yeah, this is gonna be a great photo. Goodness, that's bad. That's bad. And to top it off, this is the last one that we have. I loved this because, you know, it's the spirit of the holidays. Holidays are coming up, but don't do Christmas cards like this. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, don't do Christmas cards like this. Like, I don't know if I'm more if I'm more freaked out over the fact that the mom looks like she's crazy, or that I feel bad because the kid's crying. And the guy who's dressed up as Santa Claus, he looks kind of creepy too. I'm not gonna lie, but really, it's so awkward. Full disclosure, you know, family portraits are great, and those photographers who took those, they probably had a good idea in mind, but don't go overboard with that kind of stuff. Like, especially the cat one with the, you know, the cat that was in the background that was oversized. You don't want to do that for your family photos. Like, look, my family's dog, he means the world to me, but I wouldn't put him in the background as a blown up size, so he's kind of basically photobombing. Well, not kind of, he is photobombing. You just don't do that. But on that note, guys, I will see you in the next one.